On the shores of White River and White Lake, near Lake Michigan, lies in Muskegon County the friendly communities of Montague and Whitehall. The area is not only known for its natural beauty, but also is the home of the world's largest weather vane. But something else more recently has been detected in the air, drawing the attention of the nation's canine community. The aroma of Turtle Ellen's canine cakes has been detected by their masters, satisfying the birthday wishes of dozens of dogs around the country. Michigan Magazine dropped by Turtle Ellen's home and workshop just in time to help celebrate the make-believe birth of the dog of the day, Mozart.
Well, on this edition of Michigan Magazine, we are not going to the dogs. We are party animals, more or less, and we are at Turtle Ellen's, and she is the baker of cakes, birthday cakes, and special treats for pets. And we have a special guest of honor, Mozart, here today on Michigan Magazine, testing Turtle Ellen's delicious treat. You like that, Mo? Well, I think he's getting into it faster than we can get into it. Shall we serve out some of this, or should we just let Mozart enjoy it?
He likes this cake.
He likes this cake. Happy birthday, Mo.
Mozart's appetite for these delicious cakes is being shared by dogs from throughout the country. Turtle Ellen took time out that day to tell us how this unique idea of canine cakes came into being.
I would have to say that I kind of fell into it. I had a job at the bakery, and I've always enjoyed baking. I left the bakery, and I thought perhaps I could bake for humans in between jobs at home. And we already had a house full of animals, and my sister acquired another dog. And I thought there is no way that I can bake for humans here, so just lying in bed one night, it just kind of, I said, okay, for dogs. I love dogs anyway, why not? No, I don't know of anybody doing this. So we started, but it took a very long time. A very, very long time. Every dog that's tried it has liked it. I mean, there has been no refusal or anything. They usually, know when the package comes, right away they can smell the molasses. So there's something, I guess molasses is what they feed horses and cows and everything. All these animals like molasses. And when the dogs smell this, even in the box, they're waiting for it. They know it's for them.
Now, how many cakes have you done so far? Do you know? Just talking.
I've given out a lot of free ones. I've been selling them like that because I waited a long time for my license. My license came through in February.
Now you have to have a license for this too?
You have to be licensed with the Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
Which a lot of people don't know. The ingredient labels right here on the box. And I had to send samples out to a outside laboratory, not the Department of Agriculture, but a outside laboratory to have it analyzed. And you have to have a breakdown of crude fat, protein, all this kind of stuff. And it has to be labeled on the package.
So we are official.
We are official.
We are government approved.
We are government
and
approved.
we are set to please the dogs and the animals of the world with special greetings from the human friends. Now this, you've been sending them all over the country, haven't you now? You've got clients, just a round figure of how many you did so far at all? Or?
I would say not as many as you think yet, maybe about 50, close to 50.
Oh my goodness, the word is spreading. What is involved in baking a cake like this? Now this is not the average cake. This takes a little extra care, doesn't it?
It takes a lot of extra care. That's why I'm not worried about anybody mimicking my cakes, because a lot of people don't have the patience to do this. What I do is I make this shell first. What's underneath here, you can see.
Okay. Well, this is more or less this shell here we see here.
Yeah, this is the shell, and this is actually formed over a dog dish. That's how we started. We started with what we had in the kitchen, okay? So this is formed first and baked.
What is the ingredients in that? What is that?
This is molasses. Molasses and eggs and flour and salt and a little bit of oil.
And that's formed over a dog's dish.
Right, and
baked.
And it's taken off the crock and cooled a bit, and then I make the cake batter, which is not really cake, it's more like a bread. And if you want to cut into this, you can too. If you want to see.
Sure. Let's take a look.
This is what I have to do, is slice this whole thing off when I get ready to decorate the cake.
Okay.
Okay, but this is the texture inside, and you can see I use really hard steel cut oats. And that's that fleck in there, but if you feel it, it's really, really moist.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like a moist bread. And the only sweetener in here is the blackstrap molasses.
No chocolate or anything
No
of that
chocolate.
sort?
It looks like chocolate, but it's not. It's
And And the dogs go crazy.
They go crazy over it.
And from this point here, you do your final touches?
We flip it over, and then this here, right now this came out of the freezer. It's a little bit wet. This is another recipe that I created. It's a dough. It's not frosting. This will harden right up here. It's baked on. It's not frosting. And this does have a little bit of sugar in it in order for it to stand up,
right.
you know, but it has very little in it. And it's just drizzled. But the cake goes in the oven 3 times. This is just a simple sweet dough recipe that will bake in the oven.
And I think we've got the guests are arriving shortly. I can hear them now in the background. They're all anxious.
They're anxious. They're anxious.
Now, is this something that maybe that the master could share with the dog in the celebration too? Is it edible by the humans too?
It certainly is, but we're not supposed to talk about that.
Right. If it's at their discretion. You didn't tell them to do it. Now this is the molasses strips.
Right. This is what's left over, and the dogs love it. We love it. My sister and I eat this all the time. It's addictive.
It is. It's very
if you
good.
like something like that.
Now, how does a person go about saying, "Well, I'd like to get a cake like this"? I mean, do they contact you, or how does someone? How far in advance do you have to be?
They need to pick up the phone and call me, and I need at least 3 weeks to schedule. And I ship out on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays because everything has to go second day air, and it must get there within 2 days because it's a perishable product.
Tell us a little bit more about your background, how eventually this led to where it is today. I mean, where did the inspiration come from finally, and you decided you had some I can tell you've had bakery experience.
No, actually, I think I was a baker in my past life because I've always loved bread. This is more not a sweet, it's more like bread. The shell, I actually knead it like a dough. I have to knead it till it's pliable. It's like a dark brown leather that I can almost stretch across it. You know, so there's a feel of making a bread, and this is something that's just been inherent.
And you just develop something. It's got to be a love of what you do.
Yes, definitely.
And
I love making each one, and each one turns out a little bit different. You know, you try to make a perfectness, you know, but everyone's a little bit different, and the weather changes everything as, you know, baking.
Have you had any unusual requests yet? Or?
Yes, I had a wonderful lady write me a 4-page letter who is in the hospital with a broken hip, who had her dog put to sleep, and evidently an elderly lady, a widow. She hopes to get out of the hospital and have a new dog, but she is close to this one coonhound. She saw a picture of my dog Mozart, a hound, and she knows this coonhound who was ran over by a train, who has only 2 legs, who lives with his veterinarian in Kentucky, and she thinks that this dog deserves a cake. Well, I wrote back to her, I said, indeed, you know, it does, so the cake is coming, you know, free of charge.
Well, that's wonderful.
But a coonhound with 2 legs is pretty unusual.
Yes, it is.
Turtle Ellen went on to explain her hopes and dreams of eventually expanding her Canine Cakes business out of her home workshop to a downtown location to more effectively satisfy her growing list of clients nationwide. And of all her clients show an appetite for the products, as resident taste tester Mozart has, Turtle Ellen Canine Cakes' future is secure.
Well, thank you, Mo. Thank you, Turtle Ellen, for being on Michigan Magazine.
Thank you.
And happy birthday, you party animal.